Hello my crochet and crafty friends, my name is Tracy and welcome to Travel Crochet. I'm going to do this video a little bit different this time, just to change it up a bit. I thought I might do a video where I vlog as I create and as I make and update as I go along. I haven't done that for a little while, so I thought I might do that. So in the last video, I did mention that I have to make another Daffy Duck, but I thought to make it easier, I might break it up. So I might make one or two bits of Daffy and then make something smaller and quicker, so then it doesn't feel as big when you make it all at once. So, I mean, you should see what's around me at the moment. I'll show you where I sit here out in my lounge room. So in front of me is the coffee table, and you can always tell which is my half. I'll show you. So as you can see, that's my half, Chris's half. So it's full of yarn, and then on the floor I have a bag of yarn. And in that bag is another bag of yarn, and there's my stuffing. And then we go around my hot glue gun, my fan for when it gets hotter. Oops, my light, sorry. Safety eyes, and my iPad, and works in progress. So far, I have started a couple of pieces of Daffy this morning. So I have made the mouthpiece, well, the first part of the mouthpiece. Then I've made the second half of it, the beak part, so that is done. And then I made the two eye patches, so that's a pretty good start. So I'll put that back there, and then I have a little pile beside me here that I usually do of what I have in my head that I want to make today. And of course there's always about 2 or 3 ideas in my head, and we'll see which one I actually do. So I have some of the yarn that I'm trying to use up. So I've got a couple of those. Then I'm thinking another snake. Probably another snake with that one as well. I'm thinking, I don't know if this light yellow will go well for a chicken because it's quite a light yellow. And then another chicken, I thought this colour, and then sort of that's for the comb. And then of course beak, but that's also part of Daffy as well. And then I've still got to come up with something to use more of this red. I'm thinking maybe a dragon or little dragon or something. We shall see. So it is time to start one of those smaller projects, and I'll update you when I actually get somewhere with those. We'll see you soon. Okay, vlogging didn't go to plan yesterday. It is now the next day. I started a chicken yesterday and then decided to do some housework, and then we had to do some chores down the street. And often if we go down the street, we decided to go for a drive, and by the time all that happened, and then it was evening, and that's usually the time where Chris and I will settle in and start watching whatever series we're watching at the time together, and I just crochet while we're watching. So not really suitable for vlogging because it will be copyrighted. So anyway, I did get a bit done with my plans yesterday. So I got the chicken done. So this is Southern Gal Crochet's sesame chicken pattern, which is the chicken that I usually make. However, she's just put out a mod for it. So with the wings here, it might be a bit hard to see because it's all this really light yellow colour. But I'm not sure if I put the wings up too high or not, or if they should be a bit bigger. They kind of look a bit small. So the next time I make it, I don't know, I might do an extra round around the wings to make them a bit bigger. But I do like the shape of it, and the head is more sort of pronounced now, so a bit more shape to it. So I got that done. And then with the Daffy Duck, I got, so this is 2 pieces that you put together with a little bit of stuffing in between for his feet. So I got those 2 done. And then I got another 2 done, and I've just starting to work on the leg part now. And then I got his butt piece done. So after the leg parts, I'll be up to only black, so that is fun. Then I got this little sea turtle done. I love the colours in this one. That green is one of the new colours that Spotlight came out with in the Motivera blankie yarn, and I really love it. And I love doing huge eyes in my plushies, so these are actually, I think, 20mm eyes. And that beautiful mystical yarn. I tried Googling the colours the other day, but because I'm in Australia, it just wouldn't give me a plain old website with this. It just wants to send me to shops that can stock burnout blanket items, so I didn't get very far with knowing the colours. So that's that one. Then I made another sea turtle, and again that's another type of mystical, and just paired it with a light grey. I think this grey is actually the Portercraft blankie yarn. I believe they've improved this blanket yarn, because when I first started using it, when we first started travelling around Australia, because it was really the only blanket yarn I could find at the time, the quality was really poor, and if you frogged anything, you couldn't use it again. You couldn't do a magic ring, but now you certainly can. Yeah, it doesn't shed as much as it used to, that is for sure. It's just a pity that they only come in 80 metre skeins, not 110, so yeah. And then I made this snake, and the way the variegated turn out, it is very interesting. And I've just put, it's hard to see with the variegated, but these green eyes, snake eyes. So that's what I achieved yesterday. So I actually achieved a bit. I think it's working out well, making a larger piece, but just doing bits and pieces at a time and then breaking it up with making other smaller things. So I'm feeling like I'm achieving things while still making the large items. So I think that's the plan from now on. I know I have to make I want to make a Night Fury and a Light Fury if I can. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the black for Night Fury. I've only got the charcoal, but I think it should still work out. So I might start making body parts for that as well, because they're fairly large pattern, and just I'll have body parts everywhere. I might have to start little bags for each project and have actual whips, but just to break up the larger items and then make the in-between smaller items, it's feeling good. I think that's the way I need to do it. So yeah, I'll keep on going. It is another beautiful day today. We'll have to go down the street later, get some grocery shopping done. And then, as usual, we'll probably end up going for a drive somewhere, just because if it's a beautiful day, it's nice to just go out and have a wander around, look at the ocean. Yeah. The joys of living near the beach is really good. Anyway, that's the update for now, and I'll let you know later, and hopefully I can do more updates today and see how we go. Bye. Okay, I'm being good. I am updating. I have just completed the leg part of one of the legs, one to go. I think once I've done the second one, that will be all the orange. I think there might be a tiny little bit of white left, and then it will be all black. I'm not looking forward to that part. Anyway, I'm debating if I just go ahead and do this second leg or go into something else. I'm not sure. We'll work that out in a second, and yeah, we'll see what I can show you by this afternoon. See you then. Alright, next update. I have both legs completed now. So we're a little bit step further in making a Daffy Duck. Now it's time to make something smaller. And I'm going through the list of things that I sold last market, and I sold a chicken egg that was, the chick was pink with a white shell. So I have my white out. And I got this mystical yarn for the pink, and of course the old faux fur, that's the pink as well. So I'll get on to making that. Then I'm not sure after that. We'll find out. Alright, next update. Yes, I've had a change of clothes. We went down the street, did some food shopping, and now we're back, and I just finished the chick and egg and made it this little guy here. Of course, have to give him like a real mohawk style. So if it's nice and snug in the egg. Oh, there we go. Haven't got him sitting up properly. So there we are. So another item done. I finished an item, so I guess that means I need to do something else on Daffy. And I think that means black. Oh well, I'll start that. But the sooner I get another little bit done on Daffy, then I can make something else. Be back soon with the update. Okay, latest update. I have started on the hands of Daffy Duck. Now these are fun because you have to make 3 larger fingers and 1 thumb. And that's obviously for one hand, and then another lot for the other hand. And then it's the fun bit of joining them together and making the hands, and then generally you end up with gaps between the fingers and you have to sew the gaps together, and oh yeah, it's a bit of fun. And the other thing I've done is the tops of the legs, where you add these little bits here. I may now just join the fingers into make the hand part, because I don't want to lose any of those bits now that I've got them made. And then once I've got a hand created, then I'll move on to making something else. Alright, that's the update so far. Alright, now I just remembered why I didn't like this part of Daffy Duck. It takes forever to get the fingers and the thumb together and down, but I have both done now. That is definitely me done with Daffy for a little bit. I'm going to move on to a new project. I'm actually thinking of trying one of the Paw Patrol patterns. My sister-in-law, when she made them, she did it in the really skinny like velvet chenille yarn. I'm thinking I might even try one in a blanket yarn and make really big ones, because that's what I do, of course. I say I'm going to make a whole heap of small things and then I decide to make another big thing. But I'm hoping that because it's a dog that it's not going to be too complicated. Yeah, so I might start on that. I'm thinking about doing Chase first. I think that is the blue one. Yeah, and then we'll see where we go and how big it turns out. All right, see you later. Good afternoon. It is already afternoon. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, in fact, on Saturday the 12th of July. Last night I started Chase, the Paw Patrol dog, and this is the head. Now, these colour changes are very subtle. They were very close in colour, but looking at Chase, when I did a Google, I could have done him in a much darker colour because he actually is darker. So I think I'll make another one and do the darker colour in that. But I couldn't go any further because I ran out of stuffing, and I've got to add more to the hat here. And then I've started the body, but I've got no stuffing in the legs or body so far, so that's as far as I could go. So I've just been down, got myself another kilo bag of stuffing, so now I can start doing that. It's actually a really good pattern and reasonably fast for what it is. I was quite surprised, although this sparkle glitter that blanket yarn that is no longer available, that I got a few of before it ran out. I got a really bad one and it's very hard to work with. So I've just finished that one. I've got another one here that may feel a little bit better, I'm not sure. But anyway, I've actually got out my bag of acrylic that I do have because I'll need to do his little collar tag in acrylic, so it'll be a while since I've used acrylic, so we'll go back to that. I'm actually thinking I'm going to start doing some projects like Pokemon characters maybe in acrylic or cotton, because you can get the detail, and I think true fans of Pokemon in particular, or branded characters, they tend to like the details. So I'm thinking that I might just have whips going, because it is hard to work with, just gradually adding to occasionally. So I might grab some whip bags and start that process sometime soon. I'll get through Daffy Duck and what I'm doing here, and then think about after Daffy's done, then we'll think about adding an extra project that we can gradually work on, like I have been with Daffy. So once I finish Chase, then I'll have to go back to Daffy a bit and keep going with that. But at least I've got, what day is it today? Saturday. So I've got a week till the market, a week and a day. So still got a while to market prep. So we'll see what we get up to. My pile just keeps changing in front of me. I put some things away because I thought, oh, I'm going to make this, and then I didn't get around to making that, and then I come up with another idea, and so the pile in front of me changes. So that's what it is at the moment. There's the bits and pieces that I've either made or Daffy in progress, and that's my pile beside me of what I'm working on now. I think I was thinking I was going to make another Chase straight away, but I also want to make a sky, and I've just got to look at the colours I've got to see what colours I could make sky in. But yeah, I really do like this pattern. This is by Passionate Crafter. It is an Etsy paid pattern, but when you buy the bundle, you get, I think, 7 patterns in the one bundle, so it's really worth the money. Highly recommend it. After I've been doing the pattern in the blanket yarn. So yeah, anyway, back to it. I'll get Chase finished and I'll show you when that's finished, especially the collar tag in acrylic, and see how I go with that. All right, we'll talk later. All right, I have finally finished Chase. Here he is, and look, acrylic on his tag. I'm not great at doing stars, but I think I did a fairly good job with the shape. So this is how he turned out. The whole process of this pattern I really enjoyed. The only thing is that there is a colour change sort of at the front of the hat here that sort of stands out a bit, and it's hard to get his hat kind of looking straight because it ends up deliberately squished because he's fitting a hat between his ears, so that is deliberate in the pattern, but I am very happy with the way he turned out. But that means I now need to go back to Daffy, back to black. But yeah, I'm really happy with the size that this turns out. And it was quite an easy pattern, stands up really well. So, and it was actually not too bad going back to the acrylic. So I am excited to start making some characters out of the acrylic. I never thought I would say that, but yes, I think I will start doing that soon. All right, I'll show progress of Daffy when I get some done. Not looking forward to it. Bye. All right, update on Daffy. I am going to have a break now because my hands are getting very sore. So I have him this far, so I'm onto the head. Been stuffing as tightly as I can to try and get this neck piece nice and tightly stuffed, and I'm also been trying to crochet as tight as I can as well, because with the black, the white stuffing underneath shows really easy if there's any spacing at all. So that's why my hands are quite sore, but we are getting there. I'm thinking that we'll probably finish Daffy tomorrow, which is good. I'll be glad to be done with him. Anyway, definitely having a break now, go and make something a bit easier on the hands. I might even see if I've got colours to start the Sky Paw Patrol pattern. I am not sure if I do have the colours or not, but yeah, I'll probably check in tomorrow now because it's getting fairly late. Yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow. All right, good morning. It is the next day. Today is Sunday, so today will be the day that this vlog goes out. But last night I started a new project, so I started Sky. This is as far as I've gone last night. Chris and I have decided that we're rewatching the Game of Thrones. I don't know why, because we all know that the ending is not the best, but anyway, we're going through that again. So that's what I made while we were watching Game of Thrones last night. And this morning I've just started on the first foot, and the body of Chase didn't seem to take too long, and it's pretty much the same design, just different colours. And then we'll get back to Daffy. Should be able to finish Daffy today as well, so that will be really, really good to have that done. All right, I'll give you an update a bit later. All right, Sky update. I have her now together and got the tail on and done the zip that looks like a zip on the front of her. Now I'm up to doing her collar tag, which I do in acrylic. So, oops, all my acrylic is actually in this bag here. So I need a light pink, dark pink, and a grey. So pretty much, oh, sorry, I'm trying to open this while I'm holding the camera. Pretty much everything I have in here is from Spotlight. I think there may be some cotton, yeah, like this I think was from the Bendigo Mills when we went to Bendigo when we were travelling. But these were like they were like super value ball packs that had like, I think they were about 8 or 10 different colours in each pack at the time when I first started crocheting. So now I have to find that looks like a light pink there. See if I can find a I did have a, this one was kind of grey that I used for Chase. I don't think I actually had a grey, so I think that's the closest I'm going to get. But I'll have to search through here and see if I can find a dark pink, which I'm not sure that I have. Alright, I'm going to have to look through here. Whatever colours I come up with, it may not be exactly what it requires because I may not have it. Get that done, and then I think she'll be done once that tag is on. So then we'll move on to Daffy, which will be so nice to have that done. Just a quick note to self. Probably not a good idea to keep balls of acrylic in a bag together, because now I have a great big acrylic mess. So that tells me I need to pull that out and put it in a cube so that doesn't happen again. But I have chosen these three colours. It's not a really bright dark pink like it pattern says, but that's what I've got. So I'll use those, get the collar tag done and on, and move on to Daffy. See you soon. Alright, Sky is finally done. She's got the collar tag, which is a bit difficult to see. The instructions have for making the base shape, the triangle shape with the light pink and the grey on the outside, but you kind of have to, I just had to Google Sky's collar tag and see what it actually was and just sort of made it up. But Sky is now done. Yay, another completed item. So now it's time to move on to Daffy again. But we've only got the head, so I'm hoping that shouldn't take very long at all. Hoping. All right, update soon, hopefully with a finished Daffy. Bye. Alrighty, Daffy is finally done. Yay! So here he is. Now, I spent a bit of time, even though I stuffed this little neck and head as much as I possibly could, just because he is top heavy with his head, with the beak and all that. He was still a bit wobbly. He's still a little bit wobbly, but I spent a whole heap of time reinforcing this neck area and just going around and round and round with the white, going all the way through and around and that to try and just stabilise him. And he is sitting up a lot better than he was before. So that is done. So this is a paid pattern on Etsy by Olga Kurchenko. I'll have it in the description, obviously. But I'd say that this will be the second and last time that I make Daffy, because he takes forever. And by the time you're finished with him, you've really had enough. But to recap what I made since Thursday, to just end off this vlog so I can get it out to you, I made one sesame chicken, Southern Gals, God, I can't talk now, crochet with the wing mod. Next time I think I'll make bigger wings. The snake, which is Jenny's In My Spare Time YouTube tutorial. Then I made 2 sea turtles, and this is Crochet Customs, or Customs Crochet. I never know which way that way is. I think it's Crochet Customs. 2 sea turtles from her pattern. That is a paid pattern on Etsy or her coffee site. Then we had the chicken egg, the pink one to replace the pink one that we sold at the last market. And then we made Chase, which is the Passionate Crafter on Etsy, paid pack, which you get about 7 or 8 patterns, and Sky. So that's not a bad few days from Thursday to Sunday to make that nice little pile beside me here. So I'll just get all that together, and so I can ensure that I have all those in the description for you if you would like to go ahead and check out any of those patterns. Next video for Wednesday will definitely be a market prep, but I might try and actually create a list and see if we can follow the list. Let me know if you like the vlog style just as I go, like this one, or would you prefer the style where I've made them and I come back to my desk and show them already made and done and go through that way, like I most often do. So let me know which way you prefer. I would say this vlog style probably ends up being longer because yeah, when you're updating all the time, I have no idea how long each clip is, or it may be shorter. I have no idea. But anyway, let me know which way you prefer, or you just like a mix of both. Yeah, let me know. And thank you so much, everyone. I say this every time, for your support, but also I must say thank you again for the support that I've had with my Leonard the Lobster pattern. I have extended the sale for the pattern, we'll say for another week, and yeah, after that we'll see. But I must say I am so happy for the response for my very first, gone through the whole process written pattern. It's been a great experience, and I'd like to thank everyone so much for your support. It's been great to see the makes that I've been tagged in on Instagram and YouTube. So that's been fantastic. So yeah, and we'll catch up again on Wednesday with a market prep video. All right, until then, guys, thank you so much for your support. Bye.